right. Well, welcome today. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great. So what's going on in your world?
Okay, well, the reason I'm here is I need to come up with a plan. Um, I'm a people pleaser. That's affecting my quality of life, my kids, my husband. I'm sandwiched between elderly parents, trying to take care of them. I don't feel like I'm getting any help from my siblings. I'm not getting any help from my husband with the kids, and so it's just been a real stressful time right now in my life, and I feel like I'm, you know, um, kind of losing it, just losing focus, and I'm not enjoying life.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every day when I wake up, I have a to-do list that's somebody else's.
Gotcha. So give me an example of how, how you are always doing the other things for other people and not necessarily for yourself.
Um, well, I don't make any time for myself. Number one, I feel guilty if I make time for myself because I know in order for me to have time with myself, it means I'm not having time with my husband, my children, or taking care of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find that I don't. But at the same time, I'm resentful of that time that I'm giving to all of them, and I don't feel like I don't have anybody that gives me time and helps me out,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mind helping them, but I'm not taking care of myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I have needs, emotionally and physically as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I feel like I'm giving every moment of my time to someone else, in addition to working.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I gotcha. So when was the last time you actually did anything for yourself?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. I mean, I literally can't remember.
Okay.
When I've taken time to just, go window shopping, or go out with girlfriends to, enjoy a dinner or anything like that. I literally run from work to taking kids to practice, to helping my husband with his business, to taking care of my parents, making sure their doctor's appointments are taken care of, their medications. There's no time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what do you think you could do? What do you think, or let me try to think of how to say, what do you think you could do to try to make time for yourself? Do you think that's a possibility?
I don't know. I mean, I really, and that's what I need, is to find that time for me without the guilt of feeling like I'm being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to start saying no
Mm-hmm.
to, maybe the kids don't need to play that extra sport in the spring, or maybe, I tell my husband, no, I can't, you maybe need to hire an assistant to help you with your business.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the option was, I have a brother and a sister, and I wish they would, help with the parents more,
Mm-hmm.
and give me, just a little bit of, the freedom to say I'm not going to go and spend the whole weekend over there making sure that they have what they need.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that that's a viable option on that end.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I need to just schedule in some time for me without feeling guilty and resentful.
Mm-hmm. Like, as far as parenting the kids, how is your husband towards helping them get to practices? Is it always on you, or do y'all have, like...
He helps.
Okay.
He helps. We got several kids, and he does help, and I help. I hate calling on other people to help me with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's other teen parents I'm sure that I could call on to help get them to practice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where it comes, as I feel guilty getting somebody else to take my child to practice so that I can go to the spa or get my nails done or get something like that. I just haven't been able to process that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can understand that. As a parent, it's, you're the parent, so that's kind of your job sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing. But at the same time, you almost need some time for you so that you have more, you have more of a clear ability to help them in whatever they need without feeling guilty. So on the guilty part of it, when, like, as far as, like, parents, going back to the parents, you have other siblings, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And so have they helped out with parents at all, or do they just not kind of just count on you to do all of it?
There's a logistics issue. Neither one of them live here, so I think I'm the only one locally.
Mm-hmm.
They come in, for holidays and,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But, I've mentioned to them that it's hard for one person to do that, and they say, oh, we appreciate you doing that, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't really ever offer to come take a weekend every once in a while. And on the weekends, I have to go over there and make sure they have the groceries for the week because of our schedule during the week. Make sure they have their medication, get their house clean, make sure their yard is done, and that their cars are in good shape. And it's just, so I lose my only time off taking care of them. And of course, in between all that, we have, the games with the kids, the sports, and all that. So and I'm transporting parents back and forth to that as well. So it's just a lot. I feel like when I get off work on Friday, I feel like all of a sudden Monday morning comes and I've done nothing but take care of.
Like you're in this rat race.
I mean,
where you just keep going,
I'm on a
going.
gerbil wheel. I'm on a gerbil wheel, and so that's where I need to figure out what's okay. What
Sorry. So what could you imagine, like if you could find a way to balance and to make time for yourself, what could you see, or how could you see yourself being different if you were able to give up some of these responsibilities where you didn't feel guilty?
Oh gosh, that would just be so liberating. It's just not to have that, the guilt of, not being a selfish person. That's what I feel like, and because other kids, and they don't mean to, but it's like, why aren't you coming to my game, or why aren't you coming to my practice, or why, so everybody else's mom stays for the practice, and, I try to, sometimes drop them off, and it's like, hey, I'm going to go run these errands right quick, and I'll be back, and yet they kind of make you feel guilty, not, I mean, I'm glad that they're proud that I'm their mom, they want me to stay, but at the same time, it's hard to explain to, young children that, hey, mom's got all this stuff to do. And so sometimes I think if I could open up time for myself, that I would actually be a better person, I mean, a better mom. But at the same time, it's just that struggle of, what you should do in your head, but your heart, it keeps you,
compels you to
do something else.
To stay in this routine that you've got going on.
It's a head versus heart thing.
So what are some things that you think could change, or that you could implement that would help give you some more freedom to do things on your own, yet
just learning to say no, and maybe that it's okay, and just I probably need confirmation from my kids and my siblings and my husband that we support you. If I could get that kind of support, we support you. Go do, take some time during the week and go do you. And that's what I need. But you don't want to ask for it, And maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I just need to learn to ask. Hey, can I take this time to,
What do you think will happen if you were to ask? Like, say, for instance, ask your siblings to help with your parents on some weekends, or...
I think initially that they would. I think that they would. I think they would want to, and I think that they would say that they would, and they may for a time or two. I don't know long term how that would work. But that's where I have to get to that point of saying it's okay to ask for help. You can't do it all.
Is that hard to relinquish that control in a way? Because as a mom, I'm guessing like you kind of have everything set up the way you have it. It's a system that you've got going on, but at the same time, it burns you out to where you don't feel as not necessarily successful, but you're not able to get everything done. You can get everything done kids-wise, job-wise, that sort of thing, but you're not able to be fulfilled in your own life. Like, you're missing some things that are important to you.
Right, and it's just cyclic as you see what's going on, and then you start resenting other people that have, have all this, that complain about a little thing, and you're like, tell me about it.
Right.
Come ride with me for a day. And that's where I need to get past that point of, I need to get past the point that it's okay to say no. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay without feeling guilty and without resenting those that tell they can't help, but just not be resentful to other family members. And my husband, he's just kind of like free and just whatever.
He doesn't mind taking his me time. Like, he's all about
right. He has me time only because I feel like there's things he can't do. Like I don't want to ask him to go take care of my parents.
Right.
Because they're my parents.
Right.
But at the same time, I know he would, I guess, if I asked. And he would probably do, he could drop one child off and this child off and, get them all to practice and stuff like that. But I hate to ask him to do that. That's a lot.
Yeah. But it's a joint effort, If anything, he could, as you said, if you asked him, you know, he would be most likely positive on it in that he would help you, right? He wouldn't have a negative approach to it. And
Right, I think he would. I just, you know, I don't want to infringe on, because we've taken on a lot. I mean, we've taken on a lot. I work, you know, we decided that I would work because we wanted a bigger house and all that,
Mhm,
and that was kind of against his.
mhm.
He just kind of wanted to be small, and so we could keep it all together. So
Mhm.
I've added a lot on our plate,
Mhm.
so I don't want to push it, you know, push the buttons and push him away by asking him to do too much. But at the same time, I do need the help.
Mhm. Mhm. I gotcha. I asked, so what do you see that you could do? Do you see, as we're doing the counseling, during this time, the end result, do you see getting more time for yourself, or do you see, you know, being in the same position that you are?
I can't stay in this position. I'm going to
Mhm.
have to get out of it because it's not healthy.
Mhm.
It's not a healthy environment.
Mhm.
So I guess I need to work on steps that allows me to, again, ask for what I need.
Mhm.
I'm not going to get all of it,
Mm-mm.
but just baby steps and learning to say it's okay. It's okay to be that parent that drops their kid off and goes and takes care of errands. It's okay to get somebody else to take the child to
Mhm.
practice, you know, and maybe the goals is I don't make all the practices, but I make all the games.
Mhm.
And try to get my siblings to, you know, help with my parents some as much as they can. Ask my husband for more help. I hate asking him because, you know, you hear these horror stories of these, you know, wives that the husbands get tired of them always, you know, if they feel like, you know, I don't want to infringe on that. I don't want that to damage our relationship. So,
Right.
because we've got a good marriage. And you know what, that's kind of what I always fear is if I start depending on all these other people to get me time, okay, is that going to come back and bite me later on?
I gotcha. But what would you consider me time? What would you be doing on your me time?
Just relaxing. If I want to just sit home and take a bath and read a book, or maybe I just want to be there by myself to clean house or go get a pedicure, or just something that I don't ever get time to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So could you do, is there something like you could do that like maybe once a week, twice a week? Do you see that as
once
being...
a week would be wonderful.
Okay.
Once a week, just to have a little bit of time where I'm not responsible for something for that moment.
And how much time do you think you could do? Could you do 2 hours? Half a day? Oh my gosh, half a day
Half
would be
a
nice.
day. That would be like a vacation.
That would be a vacation, I'm sure, especially when you're on this rat race
Yeah.
of work and school, or work and taking care of kids and husband,
Right.
keeping the house clean, food on the table, that sort of thing. I know that's a big challenge, but even if you did like 2 hours a week, just to have, you know, an hour one day and an hour another day, or 2 hours together.
And I want to be realistic about it. I mean,
Mhm.
I want it to be something that's realistic and not, you know, just way out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just internally, I have to get to the point where I know it's okay
Mhm.
that I'm not being selfish. And
Mhm.
I guess that comes from, you know, just my childhood.
Mhm.
You know, there were times back when I was being raised, that, you know, if I asked for something, I was told I was being selfish. And so I don't want that, you know, in other relationships and stuff like that. Well, that's just selfish. Why would I want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't want to get to that point.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's important to have the time that you have to yourself, because, you know, without just kind of that time to get to know who you are, to spend time with yourself, just to, even if it's, as you said, taking a bubble bath and reading a book, something that's really nothing big, but yet it's something big, just to kind of, you know, decompose you, who you are, like, not where you have to worry about other people. Granted, if you're in the bubble bath, you probably are thinking, who's where, is somebody being picked up, that sort of thing, because I think your mind never shuts off completely from that. But just having time away and not, you know, figuring out ways to work that into your schedule is hugely important. But
It is. So that's my goal, is to try and get to that point where I feel comfortable taking me time, asking for me time, and not feeling guilty about it.
Mm-hmm. And that's important.
And not resenting those that have that time and feeling like, you know, jealousy and resentment for those that have it and I don't.
For your kids, though, your kids probably have friends, or you mentioned that they were in sports, maybe teammates or whatever. Is it possible for you know, like those moms that maybe don't have as much as you, maybe that, you know, their parents could take the kids and then y'all could switch off to kind of where you could help her out and she could help you out, type of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. How old are your parents?
They're in their 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in their 70s.
And they still
So-
live at home, or do they live with you, or do they
No,
live?
they don't live with me.
Okay.
No, they live a couple of towns away. So
Okay.
it's about, they're about 25, 30 minutes away.
Okay. And
So-
you're the closest sibling
I'm
to
the
be?
closest.
Okay. I
Yeah, the
gotcha.
others live several hours away.
Okay.
So, and like I said, they come in on holidays and stuff like that. But even when they come in on holidays, it's all on me to get everything together for all that gathering, and they come in and they see them and they stay with them, which I'm glad that they
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
But it's the daily and weekly help
Mhm.
that
Or if emergencies come up, you're the first
I'm
one
it.
to call. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm it, and making sure they get to their doctors, or checking on them when they've been to the doctor, and
Mhm.
contacting the doctor to make sure they understood what they were told, and
Mhm.
medications, and just there's a whole bunch.
Oh, I'm sure.
A whole bunch of stuff, and then you've got your kids that need the same things, doctor's appointments and medicines and back and forth to sports,
Mhm.
and so that's
Kind of the challenge there.
it is.
Gotcha.
It is.
So you think if you talk to your siblings that they'll be able to help out a little bit, even if I know they're not, they're a couple hours away, but even the phone calls and making sure
Yeah.
that they're being taken care of, or if there's anything your parents need, that if they can do something or be there
Maybe
for
they
them.
can just, even if it's once a month, that they switch off months. That means they would only have to come, if they could just give me even a weekend a month
Mhm.
of coming in, or 2 weekends would be nice, but one
Mhm.
weekend, maybe, each sibling, that would only have to come once every couple of months.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so,
And that would be a big help.
Mhm.
How do you think that they respond to that? Like, do you think that based on how they are, do you think they would respond to that and help you out?
I think they would. I think they would want to. I think they would. Reality, when it comes down to it, is something going to come up, and then just go, think, oh, well, I might have to cancel, but she's there, that type of thing. I think that would be a positive, a possibility that they would be
Okay.
able to work something out with me.
That would be good. All right. Well, I think that's about our time today.
All right. Well, thank you.
And I'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.